Today I'm going to show you simple recipes for Christmas dinner, which is roast potatoes, fish fingers, and a fresh garden salad. They are so simple and so delicious, and we loved it. Now, when I was roasting my potatoes, I had like an epic disaster, but I decided to still show you how one can redeem a recipe if it goes the way they had not planned. So I hope you enjoy it. And don't forget to watch until the end, because today we have our second giveaway. And if this is the kind of content that you like, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also click the notification bell so that you don't miss any of our videos. Thank you and enjoy the video. So for the roast potatoes today, I have about 2 kilograms of potatoes right here, peeled and diced and rinsed. Then I also have fresh rosemary, and I have grated garlic right there. Then I have salt, I have ghee. You can also use butter or any cooking oil of your choice. And I have paprika. I love it for the smoky taste and also for the color. And I have some black pepper and some onion powder. That's it. So the first thing I do is I'm going to switch on my fire, and I'm going to boil my potatoes for 6 minutes. And normally, I don't necessarily have to boil the potatoes. Sometimes I just bake them as they are. But if I'm pressed for time, then I prefer to boil them for just 6 minutes to make them a bit tender, and then they finish the rest of the roasting in the oven. So I have my fire going there, and then I have boiled water, which I will add. Okay. To the pot of boiling water and potatoes, I want to add a bit of salt. Then I will cover and boil them for 6 minutes. As the potatoes are boiling, I want to chop up my fresh rosemary so that it can be ready to be sprinkled on the potatoes. So I will just take it. I've already washed the rosemary and removed it from the stems. You can put it as it is, but I prefer my rosemary to be really tiny so that they can coat every single potato. So now we wait for the 6 minutes for our potatoes to boil. Remember, we're having a special giveaway this month of Christmas to 4 lucky winners, and we're going to announce a new winner at the end of this video, so make sure you watch till the end. In case you're new here and you don't know about the giveaway that we're running this Christmas, we are having a Christmas giveaway that we're doing on Instagram. So all we're doing is we're taking photos of our Christmas decoration, posting on Instagram and tagging me at SUZY'S Homestead. And from the photos that I get tagged on, I am going to pick every week for the next 4 weeks, beginning last week. For 4 weeks consecutively, I'm going to pick a winner. So remember, send me photos of your Christmas decorations, tag me on Instagram, and we are going to get 4 lucky winners. If you haven't watched my videos about how to decorate your home, how I decorated our home for Christmas, I'm going to link it to this video, and I'm going to put a card right here, and you can watch that. 6 minutes are over, and unfortunately my potatoes have broken apart. But all is not lost, because I was actually going to shake them to bruise them up, but they seem to have bruised themselves. So yeah, that's going to work somehow, but I just have to be very careful. So note to self, do not overboil your potatoes, which sadly I did. But as I said, all is not lost. This happens. This is real life cooking. So what I'm doing now is I am melting my ghee. And as I melt my ghee, I want to now start putting the spices onto my potatoes. So I'm just going to put in some onion powder generously. If you have garlic powder, even better. Then, speaking of garlic powder, I'm going to put in my grated garlic. I'm going to sprinkle still a little bit more of salt. A bit of paprika is great. If you have been watching me, you know I rarely cook anything without paprika. I just love it. Love the color, love the taste, love the nice. And lastly, no, not lastly, hint of black pepper. We have our rosemary that we chopped. I won't put all of it, it's a bit much. That's okay. And the last thing I'm going to add is the melted ghee or butter. So I'll just drizzle it on top of our potatoes. Then if your potatoes have cooked well and they've not broken up, at this point you want to toss them just so you can bruise the surface a little bit so they can have a crispy coating. Now since mine have gone and done the opposite, I'll just toss them very gently. Very gently, because the last thing you want is to end up with something that looks like mush. Oh boy, this is what I'm ending up with anyway. Alright, we'll make the most of this. So I want to scoop this and just pour them onto my tray. This will be fine, it'll be fine. It'll be fine somehow. Somehow, it shall be well. Alright, so let me pop this in the oven and see how it turns out. So now that our potatoes have decided to become mashed, all is not lost. We are going to turn them into a nice mashed potatoes. And yeah, I'm sure someone will love them, especially my last one who's 2 years old. So we had already put our rosemary, paprika and garlic. So now all I'm going to add is just a little bit more of ghee. I'll put it back on the fire for a few minutes. If you have butter, that will work just as well. And I'm going to mash this. I like my mashed potatoes really creamy. And so to make them creamy, I like adding either some heavy cream or some milk. So I have some whole milk here. If I have some dhania or coriander, I would also add at this point. Alright, my impromptu mashed potatoes are ready. So let me move this aside and show you. So my impromptu mashed potatoes are ready. See how creamy they are. It's really good. It actually will make a nice side dish. Our first dish is mashed potatoes. We had not planned to make it, but look at it. It looks really nice. I love the small flecks of color from the rosemary. And yes, time to taste it. So I'll just grab a small portion. Time to taste it and see. That's what we call a happy accident. It is so creamy. Really creamy. Oh my goodness. I'm glad this happened. The potatoes are ready. They smell really good. Don't let the sight deceive you. And I think they also look great. But I feel like I'll need to make this dish again. I'm not very confident I'll put this in front of my guests, I must say. But as they say, the proof is in the pudding, so. Oh, how I wish they looked as good as they smelled. It's good for me to know not all my dishes will come out perfectly. And that's fine, no one is perfect. So here are my roast potatoes. Actually, they look quite good. I don't know, they're growing on me somehow with all their imperfections. But as they say, the taste is in the pudding. So let's give them a try and see how they taste. So here we go. I've served mine with a little bit of carrot and pineapple salad that we made in last week's video. If you haven't, you have got to try this. It's at another level. And I have some ketchup, so let's try our potatoes. Actually, that's not bad. That's not really bad. And then the way they were bruised has made them to be crunchy. And who doesn't love crunchy? Okay. I actually would be proud to put this in front of my guests at the Christmas dinner table. This is good. I am yet to meet a child who does not like fish fingers. My kids love fish fingers, and today I'll show you the simple recipe on how to make them. And this is part of what we're going to have for dinner on Christmas night. So to make fish fingers, you need fish fillet. Here I have 1 kg of fish fillet. As you can see, the best way to know that your fish fillet is fresh is if it's just red and bright, no greenish or bluish tint. Okay, so I have 1 kg of fish fillet that I have gone through carefully to make sure there are no bones left over because I'm feeding kids. I have salt, I have all-purpose home baking flour, and I have some spices. I have oregano, paprika, and garam masala and roiko. I also have breadcrumbs, milk, and eggs. And I also need oil for frying the fish fingers. So let's get on to making the fish fingers. The first thing we're going to do is to set up our production station, okay? So I'm done cutting up my fillets. So we'll put the fish right there. Okay. Then right after the fish, the first thing I'm going to do with the fish is I'm going to dip it in cold milk. I already have my milk right here. I'll pour in a small container. Doesn't need to be big because it fits in very well. Okay. Alright, so after putting the milk, next we will have the flour. After the flour, we will have eggs. These are 3 eggs well beaten. And here we will have our breadcrumbs. Okay. Do I want to keep this fork? No, let me just do it. So let me show you how I will season my breadcrumbs. That's about 2 cups of breadcrumbs. That should be enough for 1 kg of fish fingers. So now to the breadcrumbs, of course you know I'll add paprika. For color and for taste. I'm putting some Royco. Gives a really nice flavor. And fish fingers. Then some garam masala for a nice kick. Basically, here is all the flavor is. Here is where all the flavor is. Sorry, I almost forgot. Some oregano, not too much. Last but not least, a good amount of salt. There we go. So then I mix these up. Make sure it's all evenly spread out. So if you tried any of last week's recipes, please let me know in the comments below. Or any of the breakfast recipes that we made 2 weeks ago. Let me know which one you tried and how it went. If you have no idea what I am talking about, go to the channel page. You will see we are having a Christmas special and we've already done 2 videos so far. Easy recipes for Christmas, especially for busy moms with kids. Alright, I feel like we can now start the process of heating our oil. Okay, that's ready. You can also make your own breadcrumbs, and one day I'll show you how to do that. But for now, we're using the store-bought ones. So in order to make the fish fingers, what I've done is I've already started heating my oil, and it's going to be ready soon. In the meantime, let me start coating the fish fingers. So the best way to do this, because it can get really messy, the best way to do it is to have one hand for the wet ingredients and one hand for the dry ingredient. Let me show you. So I'll take one fish finger with my left hand and dip it in the milk. Then I will put it in the flour. Now the flour does the dry ingredient. I mean the right hand does the dry ingredient, okay? Then I'm going to come to the egg and use the left hand. Okay. Then it comes to the breadcrumbs. I will use the right hand. Okay. That's the fastest way to do it. I want to put a few of them there as they wait for the fry. You can make them up to this point of putting the breadcrumbs and then put them in your fridge or even your freezer, and then when the need comes you just fry them. You can put in the first batch. So we are going to fry each side for about 3 minutes. I know some people skip the part of putting the milk, but I like putting the milk because it helps the wheat flour to stick better, and that helps the egg to stick better, and that helps the breadcrumbs to stick better, and that gives you a crispy fish finger. First batch is ready. Yeah, can you see that? Really nice golden brown color. Give the oil about 30 seconds to get back up to temperature before put in the next batch. The fish fingers are ready. Look at that, it's such a nice golden color. And it wasn't such a long process to cook them actually. Once you get going, it really becomes simple and easy. So I did try to make them as evenly sized as possible, but then you know the fish fillet doesn't come in a straight line, so hey, we just do the best we can. They're really crunchy. Can't wait to sink my teeth into these. My children have actually been asking for fish fingers every other day lately. You can see how much oil we have blotted out, which is really good. Of course, if you have an air fryer, that is much better. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Beautiful fish fingers. And they can also be frozen like this. So yes, that's a win-win. So have a look. Do you see how golden they are? This will go really well with the roast potatoes and a salad on the side. Nice and simple dish. So now we taste. The proof is in the pudding. Okay. Let me grab this one that's nearest to me. And let's see. Did you hear the crunch? It's very tasty. The coating is really good. Tasty and good because of the spices that we put in the breadcrumbs. That's how to eat fish. And I don't know if you can see, it is very well cooked on the inside. And you can use any fish, tilapia, Nile perch. Yeah. Try it and let me know. The thing I love most about a fresh garden salad is that it just goes with whatever vegetables are in season. And when you mix it with a little bit of fruits, it goes a long way and anyone can enjoy it. So today I'm going to show you how I make a very simple garden salad. It takes me about 5 minutes, roughly to 10 minutes, and it's so healthy and colorful and amazing. So what we are going to do, I have some green pepper, I have yellow pepper, I have red pepper. These are really good in vitamin C, especially the yellow and the red. Then we have some green apples. I have some carrots and some grapes. So as you can see, all these are things that are really easily available and quite easy to handle. So just chop and mix. And we don't even have to make a dressing for this because it's already quite good, but we'll make one just in case. But it goes well even without a dressing. And you can add any vegetables. If you have some beetroots, you just blanch them in some hot water and then you mix. If you have broccoli, you blanch it and then you mix it in. All vegetables that are to be used for salad should be washed, especially in water with a bit of vinegar and baking soda, and basically all vegetables. But these ones especially because they're going to be eaten raw, one has to be very careful. The green apple adds a nice tangy flavor because it has a bite to it. It really works well in this salad. As you can see, I'm not cutting really small pieces. Just medium size. Now here I have to be very fast so I can finish before the apple has oxidized and turned, I don't know what color. Grapes, it's very important to cut grapes lengthwise. Okay, especially if you're cooking for kids, because grapes are a serious choking hazard for kids. As you can see, the size of a grape is a perfect size of a toddler's throat. If it gets stuck there, it becomes a real issue. So we don't cut grapes this way for kids, we cut them that way. I hope that makes sense. How colorful is that? I love it. I love it. So the last thing I'm going to do is to make our dressing. Quickly. So we have some, about a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar. And goes our olive oil, extra virgin. Extra virgin olive oil is the one that's good for salads, and normal olive oil is good for cooking. Some honey goes in as well for some sweetness. If you don't have apple cider vinegar, you can squeeze lemon, even oranges, just anything that is acidic will do. As I have said before, you always have to taste your dressing before you put it in your salad. Beautiful. So now we toss. Okay. Squeeze all the dressing. If you have lettuce, just shred it and pour it in. And our fresh garden salad is so ready. It's so colorful and tasty. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plate it. Wow. It's so simple, anyone can do this. And so healthy. That's amazing. Look at that. Those colors are wow. And now we taste. Grape in there. Alright. Let's see how that goes. To get every bit of fruit. Apple or grape. Okay. And it's so fresh. That's the word. I don't think I can describe it any other way. Just fresh. This will be a hit around the table. The grown-ups will love it, the kids will love it, teenagers will love it, everyone will love this. Awesome. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed it. And now it's time for our second giveaway. Today, our fragrance goes to someone who has been so supportive of this channel. Not only did they tag me on their Christmas photo, but every time I post a video on Facebook, they're always the first one to share on the wall, and I really appreciate that. And so because of that, I am giving the fragrance to Malkia Wasaba. Yes, please contact me, and a very Merry Christmas to you. If you want to win this, don't forget to post your Christmas decorations on Instagram and tag me at SUZY'S Homestead, because we still have 2 more giveaways to go. Have a very Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching.